questions to consider. How will students know what to do, and how will you know that they did it? Now, some people have introduced Flip Class by sending a letter to parents and creating a video for their students to explain it. Some people have done nothing. They've just said, hey, this is how we learn in my class. You could do it either way. A year ago, I sent a wonderful letter to parents explaining what we're going to be doing. And I told them how we're going to be learning and why we're going to be doing it that way, and why we think this is a better way to do it. This year I didn't do that. I had exactly the same reaction, which was parents said, seems like my kid's learning. Forge ahead. So you're going to have to make some of these determinations for yourself. If you're the person who says, hey, look, I don't send a letter home asking for permission to change from, poster board to construction paper. So this is just a different way of learning, and it's going to be better. And so I'm just going to do what I know is best for students. Or do you think it's a good idea to lay the groundwork, do the explanation, and let parents know what their kids are going to be doing at home and in class? Do a little Google search and try to find some examples of people who've sent videos and letters home to inform parents and kids what they're going to be doing in class. Oh, and by the way, what I did first with my students in the first year is I had this great Prezi, and I was explaining to them, and I was giving this great lecture about how they were going to be learning this year. And they were bored to tears. So I flipped it. And so when students came to class the second day, I said, here's the Prezi. Each group's going to take a look at each different part of the Prezi, and you're going to tell us. You're going to construct the meaning for us. Tell us what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it. So much more engaging. So much more interesting for my students. And they learned more deeply what they were going to be doing because they were involved. They were doing the doing. So how are we going to know that they did it? A lot of people ask this question. Okay, how do we know that they're reading the book? How do we know that they're watching the videos and doing the activities? Well, Crystal Kirch has created what she calls a whisk. You might want to check out the whisk. Some have embedded Google Forms into their videos. Some have used other technology tools to put right inside the videos some questions, some stops, some information that needs to be filled out by the student as they go. In my class, what we do is we take notes. So it's a college level class and it's an AP class. And so with the reading and with the videos, what students do is they organize the information. They use Cornell notes. They take notes. And then I check the notes. My first year of doing that, actually my first month of doing that, I was spending way too much time checking notes. It was the great note checker in chief, and I didn't like that use of the face-to-face time. So what we did is while I continued to talk to students about content, they take pictures of their notes with their phone or my iPad, and they email them to me so I can check them that way. Best use of face-to-face time. Some would say that with what you're doing, you want to make sure that you communicate to parents and to administrators what you're doing and how you're doing it. You might want to consider talking to your administration about this or not. And finally, what this boils down to is how comfortable at this point are you with flipping? How comfortable are you at this point with being out there just a little bit, being a little bit different? Being the person who's trying something new, or some people might say old, for their students to make it a better situation, a better education, a better use of face-to-face time. And one more thing to think about is, while it's not about the technology, you have to consider how comfortable are you using educational technology, because it can be a useful tool to help engage and interact with your students. Not to mention, you might want them creating things. Educational technology could help in that process. So, boils down to how comfortable are you? Last thing is this. What else? What other questions do you have? What other things have we not addressed? What do you want to know about? What should we focus on and learn together on? What should we collaborate on as a group? Think about what else we need to talk about, if anything. Maybe it's too much so far. What else? Read Flip Your Classroom by Aaron Sams and John Bergman if you get a chance. It's a short, quick read, and it's a good book that convinces you more about the benefits of flipping your class. Of course, we want you to be reading our book, Flipping 2.0, Practical Strategies for Flipping Your Class. It can help you move toward a flipped classroom and the next steps beyond it. All kinds of super awesome ideas in there for all the different disciplines. So check that out. Share it with your friends too. And let's push you a little bit. Consider showing up on Twitter for the chat on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Have we given you too much? Have we not given you enough? Either way, interact with us, and we want to help and differentiate and personalize this for each of you so that you can get out of it what you want to. Maybe just a couple of those questions is where you want to start out. Maybe this is going to take some time for you. Maybe you've already jumped in and you're so far past this, you just want to keep going. Well, in that case, keep going. Maybe you're somewhere in between those two extremes, and that's okay too. Be where you're at. Let us help you move forward. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. You deserve it. We'll talk again soon.